Hey guys, welcome back. It's time. We have a little bit more to add on the recent video that I put out, which involved a nervous laugh while giving pronouns to a judge and a disqualification at a recent regionals Pokemon event, official Pokemon sanctioned event. So if you want more context, or if you don't know what's going on with that, I would highly suggest you watch my previous video on that. That's the one that's on screen right now. I'll put a link to that in the description right up at the top, and also put it on the screen here if I remember to do so. You guys know that's a hit or miss. All right, so today, on top of that, we're going to look at the GoFundMe, his opponent's opinion, because I've had some people reach out. I think there was some misunderstanding with his opponent's opinion and what he posted about, and then we're going to take a look at the official statement made by Play Pokemon, which is interesting. It's kind of a surprise that they said anything at all. But we're gonna take a look at that bad boy at the end of the video, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. All right, but before we do, we're gonna have a quick recap or summary for those who don't want to go watch the other video right away. For anyone that needs a little bit of a refresher on what happened, this is again to the best of my ability, my thoughts, and I guess the information that I have at hand showing what took place. We have a 17-year-old Makani Tran, who is on screen here on the right-hand side, who was kicked from a recent Pokemon Regionals event. It's important to say, before going on stage, the judge asked for his pronouns. When he answered with some awkwardness and a nervous laugh at the end, the judge became offended. So the judge asked once again and received an awkward/nervous response. And at that point, the offended judge told him not to be a jerk about it, because they went by they, them. Round 1 gets played before they are both pulled from the stream and the game itself. I guess from the event, one of them altogether removed from the event. The other judges were notified about the offended judge and kicked him out of the venue. Even after hearing his explanation, they told him there was nothing they could do since it was against the rules, because the judge felt unsafe. I know it's definitely a stretch at all forms here. What seems like was entirely a misunderstanding. No need for it. Absolutely no need for it. And definitely an overreach. I think most people agree on that. That it wasn't reason for him to be actually like disqualified, removed from the stream, removed from the venue. Probably something that they could have talked through and found a better resolution. But in a world where everyone is afraid to speak out about something like that, I guess the other judges just kind of went with it and figured that it wasn't a big deal, that we weren't going to end up, everyone wasn't going to be extremely upset. There's a lot of people that are upset. Guys, manage what you got to manage here. There's no need to be totally vile. Hopefully this gets resolved. Hopefully this isn't an issue in future events. And I have my hope that that people can get along. People can, maybe more needs to go into the process, the application process, and who's a judge, and what kind of methods and procedures are taken in order to resolve issues like this, which shouldn't have been an issue whatsoever, but it definitely turned into one. Yeah, I think this is bad for everyone. This is an overall bad for everyone involved. All right, so once again, I guess before we continue, I don't care if someone wants different pronouns or identifies how they want. That's on them. But it is a problem in this instance, because people shouldn't be reprimanded if they accidentally offend someone, or even if they have different beliefs and that offends somebody, as long as they're not really harming anyone. If there's there's definitely no sign of danger or anything in this that someone should feel unsafe. And at that point, like, I don't know what do you do here? If someone just always feels unsafe, is there even a solution for that? Should it even be part of the rule, I guess, that they were trying to follow? If people want to include special pronouns on their sign-up sheet, if they want to advise staff themselves without being prompted or requested, again, it's my belief that most people don't want politics in any way. These events should be very politics free, or as much as possible. You're all there, everyone should be there because they love the game, whether they're maybe learning how to play the game, whether they're there to compete on the highest level. Regardless, everyone is there to share their love for Pokemon cards, not to, we don't want people to be there. They shouldn't want people to be there. No one should want people to be there that are, worrying the entire time. They got to walk around on eggshells in order to make sure that they don't upset anyone and get kicked out. Other issues, I guess, here that I didn't really cover in the last video enough, or as much as I should have, is the fact that they kicked a minor out of the event. It was mentioned there, but the fact that he's 17 and they kicked him out, he didn't have cell phone service, he didn't have his friends or family or anyone there with him, he didn't have access to his hotel room, and when he's from a different city, that's a big no-no. So definitely there's a lot of things that could have been done better, and weren't, and definitely weren't. So Alex here, his opponent, I apparently got very upset. I mean, kind of rightfully so. I don't think he wanted to be involved with any of this, but that's what happens. If you're going to play on a stage, if you're going to participate in a large event, you kind of by default become a little bit of a micro celebrity of sorts. And that's kind of what it comes down to. So here's the most important tweet here. Alex says, "This is probably a dangerous tweet for me. Should McEnany have been DQ'd? I don't think so." So I had people reaching out, and I think they misunderstood this. He says, "But remember, y'all, this isn't an excuse to attack inclusivity / people's identity. Also remember the judges are, by the rules, completely unable to share their side of things." So I think the unable to share their side of things, Pokemon needs to do something and actually make a statement on this and just say, like, hey, politics needs to not be involved. If people want, maybe come up with they need a different system of some sort. I don't know what that system is exactly to make everyone happy. But again, you gotta look out for everyone here, not just the one person that's offended at some point and decides who gets to come or go from the entire event. So I had a couple comments where people were saying, yeah, his opponent was saying that, like, it wasn't right. I don't know if there was anything else tweeted or anything else said at any point that led people to believe otherwise. But from the looks of this, it seems like Alex understands that it was just like a misunderstanding, that it wasn't that harmful. It wasn't an on purpose thing. And he didn't agree. So not that your opponent should have any say in whether you get disqualified or not, unless you're just like straight up threatening violence or, worse to your opponent. Maybe that's definitely against the line, and somebody else hears it. But it's a very dangerous spot to go solely based on your opponent says that they offended you. We're going to have a battle of, like, every time you go down a couple games, then you say that your opponent offended you in some way, and they get kicked out. And it's as ridiculous as it sounds. So apparently there's another Shemansky. So there was some confusion there. What was it? There was another one here. He says, I did not give my permission for the use of my likeness for profit. This is a reportable and illegal action, right? No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry to inform you. If you're part of something that's very public, I would say that you're a public figure in some way, especially when you're on a broadcast. If it was just like a side event or something like that, where someone really had to pry for the information, you were on a very public broadcast, and unfortunately part of a very unfortunate event. That was the here it'd be nice to know the exact full context here. He says, I had to watch the video to give myself context. The whole video assumes I talked to the judge about what happened. They literally pulled me off stage, sent me off, and didn't tell me what was happening at all. Everyone who talked to me afterwards knows I was confused. So confused. So that kind of makes sense, and you can kind of see on the look on their face when they both kind of look over to the camera to the camera side of things. They both seemingly don't know what happened. If the event prior to was that wild, surely Alex, like, they wouldn't be surprised if that happened. We don't know what the actual conversation was. Again, the judges probably aren't going to speak on it. I think it's pretty clear based on the stories that we've seen on the Twitlonger that we saw in the previous video, that the judges kind of just all decided that this was the best course of action because judge number one got very upset. So that's pretty much it. Sorry, Alex, that you had to be involved in that. It's a mess. Yeah, that's we're going to have to blame Pokemon. We're going to have to blame the judges for that in terms of them creating an atmosphere that wronged somebody that shouldn't have been wronged. And unfortunately, at the same time, the whole inclusivity angle is going to take a little bit of a hit for that. It needs to be done in a way that is not just people can use it for a power trip. That's basically what it comes down to. Yes, if you want your pronouns, if you want something in terms of pronouns that is not the usual, then you should be able to, I think, reach out to the judge or whoever is organizing the stage event so that they do appropriately address you on the stream. There's nothing wrong with that. But should you be asking everyone? Probably not. Should you be asking everyone when you're going to be offended by most of the answers that you receive? Definitely not. Again, it's a bad situation for everyone involved. I'll say that once again. All right, so awesome news is the GoFundMe for his regional expenses has far exceeded. It was a $1,500 goal. I think it's awesome. He got $7,300 so far. Hopefully helps him out with travels and such. I know we've seen some like Chalky Milk Coaster players that have too much money apparently. They're using their vintage cards as coasters to prove a point or putting their gross toenails all over them. But it's nice. It's nice to see, especially as a kid. It's expensive to travel. You got a hotel. You got well, you're constantly, if you're at this level and you're actually competing, you're constantly building decks. You're traveling. It's good to see. It's awesome to see that people supported this. Again, guys, there's no reason to be vile in the comments or anything like that. This is something that needs to be resolved, but being overly hateful is not the way to do it. I think you guys showed in this form by replacing his expenses. This is the way to do it. This is how you show. It should have been the Pokemon company that was reimbursing this. I still think they should do something. Definitely some sort of apology once they're done I don't know what kind of investigation they need to do. But let's take a look at the Play Pokemon statement. And this is the most wishy-washy, crappy statement I've ever seen, to the point that it's almost even hard to tell that they're making a statement about this incident. So, Play Pokemon says, an important message from the Play Pokemon program. They say, the Play Pokemon program is founded on the principles of mutual respect and creating a welcoming space for all players, professors, parents, staff, and spectators alike. In response to recent events, we are investigating the most effective ways to keep the community informed about significant changes and incidents concerning Play Pokemon activities. Our community are our partners in upholding the integrity of the program, and to provide better support, we recognize the importance of increasing transparency and evaluating our processes. We appreciate your patience as we work towards evolving our program, policies, and this partnership. In the spirit of the game and our community, we appreciate everyone continuing to support one another with honor and respect. Thank you, Pokemon. So they said a whole lot of nothing here. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Also, Cool Squirtle Gaming, I guess we'll give a little. This has been an issue even 20 plus years ago when I was a kid playing. It never gets old, and the response is always the same. We will learn. No, you don't. Also, interesting to see those bigger Poketubers virtually silent on the subject. Can't get daddy mad, right? Pokemon. That's right. And again, guys, we didn't shy away from this, and I did want to make a little bit of a follow-up because I think there were people misunderstanding that his opponent thought that that he did do something vile, when it clearly seems like he didn't. So that, and the nothing statement from Play Pokemon, I feel like at this point, like, this is, what is this? You might as well just not even make a statement. This says nothing. It says nothing at all. Just address the issue. Say what you need to say. Do what you need to do in order to make it right, and make it clear that something like this shouldn't happen again, and remove as much of the like political stuff as you can from the event. Yes, it's if somebody wants pronouns when they're on stage to be referred to a certain way, find a good way to do that without having to quiz everyone on their way to the stage. You have awkward people there. I'm awkward at times. Pokemon collectors, Pokemon players are awkward people most of the time. Sorry guys, but I'm right there with you. So it's bound to happen. People, there's going to be misunderstandings. You can't just go off of like one person's side of something, and that's kind of what happens when you just keep, it gets pushed too far, further and further and further. I mean, next they're going to ask you if who you voted for or something on the way to the stage to decide whether you win or lose the game. Like, it's ridiculous. It shouldn't have anything to do with it. I think most of the players agree. I think most of the people watching agree. No, you don't. Hobbies should be non-political. I don't care. I don't care who you are, what you believe. Hobbies are hobbies. Keep it hobbies. Keep everything else out. It's ridiculous. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord, and I will see you next time. If there are any updates on this, I'll be sure to make a follow-up. But it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like we're going to get a nothing statement from Play Pokemon. But I'm just really hoping that they make some kind of change, that they apologize to the 17-year-old that got kicked out, and then that's about it. All right, bye.